Hey everybody, I am using a new technology today, at least new to me. It's from Screen-O-Matic. It's free screencasting software. And I got the idea from Dr. Marlon Harrison, who posted some really cool tech tips in our SNU Connect in week 2, and you should definitely look at that. It's neat stuff. Alright, so today I want to talk to you guys about discussion presence in the discussion board. Marlon and I, he's my team lead and my colleague, and we were generating all kinds of ideas about how to be more creative in getting across our personal presence, especially in the discussion board. And so he's given me permission to show you some of his stuff, and I'm going to show you some of my stuff, and I hope this is helpful in some way. So we are in my course, Lit 500 Literary Theory, and you can see this is my banner, and I've gone ahead and customized the color over here. I don't do as much as Marlon does, but I do try to bring my personal presence even just to the announcement board. Alright, and we're going to go right into the discussion board. This week I was noticing a little bit of a lack of connective tissue between the students in the discussion board. What I was seeing was that there was some confusion about literary theory, especially as it had to do with feminism. They were thinking more of feminism as an activism and a political theory, but less of a literary theory, and so I wanted to try to draw them all together. And that is one of the things that I tend to do every single week, is find conversations that are somewhere along the same thread and draw them together in my responses. But this time, I did something I'm not sure everybody knows you can do, although I've seen it a little bit in our team, and that is I created my own post, throwing in my 2 cents, which I did. And here we have it, and what I've done here is I've brought up a free PDF by Bell Hooks, and I've added a little textual rhetoric to bring more of that idea to them without losing that fun, creative method. And here I've embedded a video, and I've seen a little bit of this in our classes, but it's very easy to just go ahead and link some of your words and your verbiage to a neat outside source that they can use. Drawn their attention to the International Conference on Masculinities, hoping to help them professionalize themselves if that's a theory that they're into, and of course added that personal touch of myself and Gloria Steinem. And within about an hour, we had a response from a student, and it's one that she really wasn't participating very much, and she had gotten her interest piqued. And then before the end of the 24 hours, there was another one, and this one, it really drove her final project ideas. So that's one of the neat ways that we can kind of draw in more students. We can speak to all of them at once, not just in the announcements that we do every week, but also on the board if you need to generate more of your own personal presence. And one other little thing, Marlon turned me on to using color in these posts a long time ago, and it really does draw the eye. I use it especially if I'm trying to get attention drawn to a quote, or if I'm pulling together students and those students can see their names together. So that's some of the things I do. Well, let's run over to Marlon's. And here we have his capstone thesis course, 690, and we can see his banner. He does quite a bit with color, customizes in a very creative manner. But one of the things he's done here is he's put his groups together so they're easily chosen. And one of the things that we were also talking about, Marlon and I, was group discussion boards. Well, while we all know that we do not need to be participating necessarily in those group discussion boards, there's still a way that we can add our presence, especially on those weeks where there's not a discussion board in the general discussion board forum. And what Marlon has done is he's edited and enhanced the cover of those posts. while we can't take away or delete or change any of the primary information here, we can add to. And this particular discussion was peer review, preliminary research, and so Marlon has added an article from the Teacher's Voice from the Teaching Channel that was all about that, all about feedback to a colleague. He's also linked it, so if you click on the pic, you can read even more. He's added in his intellectual presence here as well as instructional, and really kind of kept them on task. And he does this for every one of these. One of the other things that Marlon does, as you see here, is add color. And I've noticed that a lot of his discussion posts tie directly back into his announcements for the week, or vice versa, which is a very interesting way to keep these things scaffolded, keep the conversation going, and keep that connection between course objectives. Look at that color, isn't that beautiful? And it just is more inviting, and it keeps the conversation going. So if you haven't done so yet, do go over to SNHU Connect and check out his tech tips and say hi to everyone. And if you have any other ideas about ways that we can generate more personal presence, let me know, let our community of practice know, and have a great week, everyone. Thanks.